The card.
Yeah.
Did you figure it out last time, or?
I sort of figured it out. I figured out I was putting it in the wrong slot. But it still won't change over.
Okay, so we're gonna quickly go through some current events with business education. So the first one is really exciting news, which is CLOs are booming again. So the same investment tool that took down the U.S. economy and in turn the global economy is back to being a top investment choice by investment banks. Always good news. So basically in August of last year, JP Morgan Chase suggested that investors start buying CLOs again. Oh yeah, that's a good idea to tell you what a CLO is. So a CLO is a collateralized loan obligation. They pretty much used to go by the name CDO, which was a collateralized debt obligation, and someone who was really smart changed it to an L so people wouldn't have the same negative stigma attached to it, but yeah, they're basically the same thing. So right now the market is trying to chase down yields, and they're finding them in these collateralized loan obligations. So actually I should go back. So if you see, yeah, I can use my hand. So this is in 2004. This is when the recession happened. This was demand for CLOs. Obviously 2008 happens, people are screwed, no one buys CLOs, and then this is this year. So we're back to pre-recession rates of buying CLOs. And then with regards to yields, this is when JP Morgan said, hey, you should start buying these, and then this is now. So you can see a 25% increase in yields on CLOs. And this is going to be high yield bonds. This is a highly rated CLO, and this is a lower rated CLO, and then this is the stock exchange, the Nasdaq. So how equities are performing against them. And basically it's the best return you can get on the market right now, I think. I probably shouldn't say that. But yeah, so CLOs are up. Next, Kyle's tackling earnings season.
So in the last 2 weeks, a lot of the big bulge bracket banks released all their earnings statements. And so these are three of some of the big highlights of what people knew was going to come out. One, that trade was down due to a lack of volatility in the markets. There's more borrowers that people are wanting because banks are not lending, or not seeing as much lending to medium-sized companies because of political gridlock out in America right now, and pricing power, being that banks are hoping to offset this decline in loan volumes with higher prices due to higher short-term rates. And overall, despite all of this decrease in the capital markets division, they did report that they hope to see increases in lending and wealth management. And so these three little diagrams kind of show exactly everything that was just said. The very top one shows how fixed income, equity, and total trading, how, as you can see, fixed income is completely down for all the firms. Equity trading, some firms, or well, really only two, Morgan Stanley and Bank of America and JP Morgan, but all the other ones were down. In total, as you can see, all six of the banks were down in trading. You can see how the pricing power for loans is going up, and how the borrowers, people who want to borrow loans, is going down. And this is kind of just a really good summary of what came into fruition from all those estimates. There's really about three big things here. If anybody wants to say if they know what one of those is, that would be great. Keep looking at this. What's one thing you see?
Negative trading revenue.
Yeah, so as you see, trading revenue down for everybody. What else?
Pretty much everyone beat earnings per share aside from Wells Fargo, which was kind of expected.
Yep, so everyone, as you can see, was up except Wells Fargo. Why would they be down?
They've had a couple problems recently.
And what's the other thing? What's the one? This one's a little more tricky. Okay, so as you can see, Goldman is the only firm besides Wells Fargo that had a decrease in return on equity, and that's because they suffered the biggest loss in trading volume, as you can see up here total. So that's just why it had a lower return on equity. And here's Kat.
So this was also in the optimal bundle, so a little bit of double duty, but looking at last week, the applications for the second headquarters of Amazon was due. So 238 proposals were submitted from cities and regions across North America. So this is mostly metropolitan cities. So they're looking to generate about 50,000 jobs in the next 20 years. And it's a $5 billion project. So most of those jobs will be, the people will be earning over $100,000 per year. And then another big thing that Amazon is looking for is big tax incentives. So one big example was New York, New Jersey offered $7.3 billion over the next 10 years to encourage Amazon to come there. So what Amazon is looking for specifically is a metro area with over 1 million people, a lot of software developers, transportation, and they want to be able to start development by 2019. And the decision for the city will be made early next year.
So, the University of Wisconsin announced that it's considering cutting its MBA program. University officials there proposed suspending admissions for its 2-year program effective immediately. They cited a lack of demand for the traditional program they offer and more interest in shorter, more specialized degrees. Enrollment has dropped 11% at Wisconsin Business School since 2010. In addition to the University of Wisconsin, the University of Iowa, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech have all ended their full-time traditional MBA programs. Many universities are considering discontinuing or cutting back on traditional MBA programs. Penn State has been offering an MMOL, which is a Master's of Management, Organization, and Learning, in addition to a more traditional program in order to get more students interested. And then this chart here, this is from the recent study that shows that full-time 2-year MBA programs are part where application volume is decreasing, while full-time 1-year MBA programs, Masters in Management, Masters of Finance, and Masters in Data Analytics programs are also seeing increases in application volume. Next we have Amir with talking about Under Armour.
Under Armour has just experienced a major loss in sales. They've decided to cut back on some of their shoe categories because nobody's buying them. One of the major ones they're cutting back on is their tennis shoes because Nike and Adidas are getting more popular in the tennis shoes category. They're also planning on cutting down on their fishing shoes and stuff. Due to this major loss, co-founder Kip Fulks decides to take a sabbatical from the company, and he has not given a reason for why he decided to take it. Under Armour has a rule that if you're going to take a sabbatical, you should have at least stayed in the company for 11 years for all the founders and co-founders. So he has actually been in there for a lot longer than that, and he decides to take his sabbatical at this particular time, which is really mysterious.
Okay, that's current events.